If you're looking to transform your tiny space into a full functional YouTube content creation studio, you're not exactly too sure where to start, what gear you should use, or how to even design your space, this video is going to be for you. In this video, we are taking this 8x16 space and transforming it into a full functioning podcast and content creation studio. I'm going to show you exactly how we addressed the space currently as it is, how we came up with the design, the materials that we use to be able to have full capability for one person to be able to manage a 3-person podcast within very tight quarters, how we went through the color design as well as the types of gear and some rigging that you may not have thought about before. So if you stay to the end of the video, we are going to be doing a full reveal of transforming this space to look like this.
And here we have our studio.
What's up, man?
So for this design, we wanted to focus on some of the brand colors and to utilize our white space here. What we wanted to do is we wanted to take the white space and be able to spread our light that we're going to use. Now this room, there's a lot of hard surfaces. And so when we were thinking about the design of this, the very first thing we had to say to ourselves is, okay, how do we dampen the sound of the room so that there's no echo or reverb? We are doing that specifically with some curtains that we found on Amazon. If you've looked at some of our other studio builds, you'll see that there are low-key studios that we've done. This one is going to be a high-key tone. And so for 2/3 of the room, which is our main wall here and the wall that's behind the camera, there are a ton of windows, which means that you can't control natural light. And though it might look good on the camera right now, the time of day changes, so does the light. So we want to be able to have a controlled setting to where we can utilize our own lights that we have. So first thing we need to do is deaden the room and block out all the light. Next, because it is only 8 feet, which is relatively small, we wanted to be able to clear up as much floor space as possible, which we have ceiling mounts for our lights rather than a regular floor mount. And it's going to clear out a lot of our floor space. Now, because we're doing that, we have to add something called leading lines into where our subjects are going to be sitting. We have this back wall here, and so we have a pop-up foldable wall that we're going to be extending behind one of our guests to cut the room. We also have some pretty great book shelving that we're going to be assembling to add leading lines that are going to push in toward the subject. We're going to have the table up against this wall here. We're going to be covering this light panel so you're not going to see it. And then we're going to add, as a center point between our subjects, some barnwood. Barnwood is going to be a nice little natural wood add, and it'll also match with our orange drapes. Our wood is going to spread up here, and we are going to have a hanging sign right here in between the table. So when we approached our design, we wanted to keep it minimalistic, save money on cost, which is a great idea if you want to be able to do curtains. It saves a ton of cost and dampens the room. So there's 2 goals within one. So I would consider that if you're looking at a room that has tons of windows and is a little bit echoey. Now let's assemble our bookshelves. So the initial inspiration for this studio was revolved around an island theme. We're here on Tybee Island, and so we want to match the vibes of the setting that we're in. And so we decided to go with a lighter, high-key type of studio, and we just really wanted to stay natural lifestyle type vibe here. It was kind of stuffy and it was claustrophobic, right? There was too much stuff that was in here. Though we took everything out, it was still a tight space, but the way that we laid everything out, we focused on a couple of the shelvings for leading lines, which we can get into the price breakdown that I will do directly after our inspiration. We put some shelving in here. We have some leaves for some texture and some bookshelf materials that are from his own personal home. We also added a couple different lifestyle elements such as like vases and all that other jazz. And then we have our Govee lights that you can get to be able to peel and stick and take off. These are really nice because you can kind of pop them off, and if you just want to add them to a different area, you just need like a command strip, or you could just kind of tie them. But they add a nice rim light. As you can see, they're not the main source that is around me. Each of these Govee lights, as well as our key light, is remote controlled from your phone, that you can download the Govee Home app and be able to change all the colors and even do some presets based off the type of room. So it's just with a click of a button, boom, you can change it to whatever style that you want. We also added a couple practical lights within this set. Now, if you notice behind me as I move my head, but if I'm standing here, there's a burst that is focused behind me. That's intentional because everything that we do, we want to draw attention into the subject. So our leading lines with our bookshelves comes directly into us, and then we even place a practical light behind. If you're moving, you can kind of see the practical light. It is not a main component of things. It's made to accent the subject, which is just a regular light that we got from Walmart, about $9 for each of them. And then we have our table here, which we wanted to be a centerpiece and a little bit more formal. And that is a majority of the actual design element that we went with. But let's get into the gear, because that's the thing that everybody wants to know. What gear did you use to be able to make this happen? In this video, we have a 3-camera setup with the Sony a7Cs, which are full frame cameras, and I personally love them, especially for tight spaces. They are cheaper and they'll give you the full range. Like, look at this. This whole thing is like wide, and it's a very, very tight space, so you're able to see everything that we put in here. Additionally, we have Sony 24-70 lenses, as well as a Zeiss lens that is over here. Honestly, it's really tight. The lens is really close in. As you can see here on the screen, the lens is maybe 2 feet away from the actual subjects, and it's catching 2 people at once. If I were to go through the breakdown with you, we have the Zeiss 16-35, which comes at roughly $680. We have our Sony a7Cs, which also come at about $1,400 that you can come at landed. That's without the lens. We have our tripods here that are Manfrotto, which are about $180 each. We have the ATEM Mini Pro ISO, which runs at about $400. We have the Rodecaster Pro 2, which also runs at $600. For our lighting, the Govees, as well as the Amaran 300C, which also runs at $455 with the dome. That is an additional $80. And we have an uplate here that's about $240 from Amazon as well. On top of that, one of my favorite additions to this is our ceiling mount that we have for our Amaran, which is an adjustable mount. Basically, you sync to the ceiling, and it has a release to be able to safely pull it down, coming in at about $223. Honestly, we wouldn't have been able to make this tight space work unless we used this ceiling as well. So there wouldn't have been any space for a floor stand on top of that, because it is only about 8 feet wide. There's no space really to do that. And so if we want to utilize the length of it, we have to be able to bring everything closer in to the sides. And so we utilized the ceiling rather than the floor space, and that was a nice $200 fix. It also came with 2 of those bad boys. So if you wanted to set it up maybe in this corner here and have another set into the corner, you technically could have 2 sets. We have a regular TV as well as wall mount for our switcher to be able to see what we're doing. Like right now, I keep looking over here to the right because that's where I am and I'm getting distracted. But you want to be able to monitor your ATEM as well as your audio levels on the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. And we tied in the Rodecaster Pro 2 to the ATEM Mini Pro through mic 1. And last but not least, my favorite addition to this entire space. And if you've been watching some of your favorite podcasters, you've probably seen this microphone. Oh my God, that looks amazing. How can I get that? So this is the RE320. It comes in at about $400 per microphone. We have a suspension mount here that we use, so if you're moving it around, similar to that, it won't be too much noise. We have a regular desk stand for that, because sometimes low profile boom microphones or people are more inclined to touch the microphones if they're movable. But if you know that you have a stationary thing here, you can just focus on the conversation. Check out the Re 320. Is a phenomenal microphone, super dynamic, and it is really sturdy. There's no battery needed for it, and you just connect it with an XLR at the back. We got this from Sweetwater, which was a steal, and their sales reps, they love to work with us, so they'll be able to give you like discounts if you are constantly ordering from them. But honestly, I really love this microphone. And do me a favor, if you want a full breakdown of the Re 320, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below of some of the questions that you have about this microphone. If you're interested in it, I will do a deep dive of this microphone and the dynamic range that you're able to pull from it. But otherwise, all in all, this is our studio build that we built. I think landed cost, we ended up right around $23,000. But here's the thing, you don't have to look at $23K and say, oh, need to spend $23,000. Or you at least have a base for if you want to level up your podcast, roughly what cost or savings that you can do to be able to get a quality studio like this. Now, the cost breakdown and some of the gear is going to be in the description below. So if you want to purchase this and do it yourself, you can. Or you can message me and I can show you how to do it. Otherwise, you can check out our videos in the gear playlist, so make sure that you check that out, because we will be doing breakdowns of each of these pieces of gear, as well as deep dives on how you can utilize certain gear to be able to fuel yourself as a content creator. By the way, if you're not subscribed, it's okay. Most people that watch these videos, they aren't subscribed. But I want to take a moment to actually invite you to subscribe to the channel. If you're a creator or you are trying to become a creator and you're looking for more information to be able to grow and develop and to be able to figure out how to navigate all this crazy looking gear and your first steps. So go ahead and click subscribe, because we are dropping new content weekly on different types of gear, as well as some of the systems and processes that we do to be able to build full YouTube and podcast studios and to transform spaces from tiny rooms into big dreams. Make sure that you click subscribe. Let us know in the comment section below if there's any piece of gear that you would like a further breakdown of. I'm Manager John, and I'll see you on the next video.